Welcome to the show. This is Hanging with the Chads. And as always, I'm Chad Springer. This is the greatest tag team partner ever, Chad Boudreaux. And we have a very special show for you today. And Boudreaux, what is that show today?
We're going to go over the brackets today, my man. Brackets.
Brackets. If you're like me, your bracket's already busted, but it's okay because we have a very special bracket we're going to do together. All of you listening are going to join our ESPN Tournament Madness. You're going to join our group, Hanging with the Chads, and we're going to compete against each other. If you can beat us, so if one person is better than two Chads, we are going to send you a wonderful, amazing care package courtesy of the show. This is going to be an amazing time. We're going to have a lot of fun. It is March Madness. It is going to be crazy. You never know what's going to happen. Are we going to get a UCMB to upset a number one seed like they did? We don't know that. But that's what's so great about March is you never know what's going to happen. It is madness. It is chaotic. And it is going to be an exciting time as we lead to the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Boudreaux, what are your thoughts?
Dude, I'm here for it. I want to know what 5 seed is going to lose to a 12 seed because that happens every year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if we do have a real Cinderella this year. This year's tournament, it's up for grabs. I mean, yeah, it's chock full with your blue bloods, but man, will the SEC be able to do what they've done all season? It's going to be fun, man.
Dude, they got like a 10% chance of winning. There's 14 teams from the SEC. I'm not even a mathematician. I'm just guessing at 10%. But, you're speaking of blue bloods, and, there is some controversy. It wouldn't be March without some controversy about a certain blue blood getting in who we don't name here. There's another blue blood school who we don't name from Florida that got the number one seed for winning the SEC. But there's only one blue blood that really matters, and that's the Duke Blue Devils. And so Texas, UNC gets in. West Virginia doesn't get in. It's always surprising to see things like that. And it's just madness, man. It's just 100% madness. And that's why we're here. That's what we're going to talk about today. And ladies and gentlemen, again, if you can beat us, the two greatest Chads to ever walk the earth, you will get a care package courtesy of Hanging with the Chads. And Boudreaux, I don't even have to ask you because I already know the answer. Are you ready?
Come on, let's do this. Come on.
Let's do this. Here we go. Hey, look, we're going to bring up our bracket. We're going to go game by game. We're going to make it work for everybody. And we're going to show you why we are going to defeat all of you. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our brackets out. We're using ESPN. We are using the bracket challenge for the men's division here. And again, if you go in, you find us Hanging with the Chads, we're going to be just fine. And we're going to show you that we are better than you. Boudreaux, let's just start off in the South. You got Auburn playing the winner of, it looks like Alabama State and
St. Francis.
St. Francis, PA, I'm assuming. Hey, I don't think it's any debate in that one. Do you just want to go ahead and have me click Auburn on that one?
Yeah, go with Auburn.
All right. We got Auburn advancing. All right, here we go. Hey, I love the 8-9 games because they're always so crazy. That the 9 could pull the upset. Over. We got Creighton and Louisville. It's a tough game here. It looks like Louisville has the favorite by a little, by 1.5. What are you thinking, Boo?
This one's tough just because they're both tournament savvy, right? They're both been in a tournament every year. They both go far in a tournament. It's hard for me to go against Louisville just because it's being played in Kentucky. That's where I think, even though it's at Rupp Arena, they're gonna get a lot of boos. You gotta go Louisville, man. You gotta go Louisville.
Hey, I agree with you. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rock old Louisville. Now we're going to go into the 5-12 matchup between Michigan and UC San Diego. Hey, Michigan has been really well. They're favorite to win this game. They should have made a deeper run in the Big Ten. However, they didn't. But I'm gonna pick Michigan in this game, just because I'm always looking at. I know you like that 5-12 matchup on who's going to get upsetted, but I think Michigan's going to take this one. Any objections to that?
No, if I objected to that, I probably won't have a job come Monday. So yeah, we're going Michigan.
Oh, we're sucking up to people. Okay, I see how we did there. I guess that's why we might pick Xavier in the first round. Shout out Tiffany King, everybody. Feel better, TK. Hope you get off that boat soon. All right, so here we go. We got Texas A&M and Yale. You got the party of the South against an Ivy League school, man. I'm going to personally take A&M over this. But if you look at the preview matchup, I mean, at the end of the day, they're favored by 7.5. Right now, I'm just going to take Texas on this. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go SEC on this one just because it has been tough. I think the SEC will rock the first 3 rounds, but then after that, it's going to be where their legs are going to give out at some point.
Okay. SEC does have half the field. The next one, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I'm taking Ole Miss just because I want UNC to get put out, and I kind of hope they get put out before this game. But to be honest with you, Ole Miss, I think they're going to pull it out. UNC shouldn't even be in there. San Diego State, I don't think it's going to be able to keep up with them. But I'm going to pick Ole Miss again, keeping that SEC bias right now, just for now. Any objections to that?
It hurts to say that I'm not going to go with San Diego State just because our school, we host a practice for one of the all-star games for colleges, and I have a decal from San Diego State player in my office. But for my boy Van, we're going to go Ole Miss.
Hey, shout out Van. Coach Van, we got you on this round. All right. So we have a 3-14 matchup, Iowa State and Lipscomb. If you look at the preview here, Iowa State is a huge favorite, 13.5. What is there a chance for Lipscomb to pull up the first round upset?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be Iowa State. Like it's hard to go against these first round this year. It's hard to go against the favors.
Mm-hmm. All right, and the next round we got a 7-10 matchup, and those are always pretty good matchups to watch between Marquette and New Mexico. It's played in Cleveland. It's not going to be really much close, but if you look at the line, it's a little bit closer than what you would think. 4.5 for Marquette. I think I want to make this an upset game, but we gotta collectively come up with a reason, and I think this might be an upset here with New Mexico coming out on top. I always go to a couple of upsets here and there, and this might be one of mine I want to pick.
When I looked at this last night to see it, I was leaning towards Marquette because, like I said, their season, they've been in the tournament every year, but New Mexico has lived up to the challenge this year. They've played some big matchups. I would go to New Mexico. I agree with you on that one.
We got one upset here in the first round. All right, we got Michigan State and Bryant. Is there a chance the 15 seed upsets? I think there's a snowball's chance in Hades that Bryant wins. However, strange things have happened, but I don't think it's going to be very close at all. Especially whenever Michigan's at 18.5 points right now.
You got Izzo. You can't go against Izzo right now. You can't, not in this matchup.
This is Izzo's time. This is Izzo's time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We'll just stay up here. We'll stay in the East. And look, I'm number 1, Duke. I don't see them losing in the first round.
It's Duke.
I don't see Duke losing in the first round, even without Mr. Flag. I think they're going to be just fine. Then we got your 8-9 matchup between Mississippi State and Baylor. It's a very close game, obviously, for an 8-9 matchup. It's Baylor's at -1.5. do we want to keep our SEC biased, or do we want to go with the Big 12 a little bit here?
I think this is where the SEC may falter because Baylor is good, especially this time of the year. They always come out in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. They show who they really are. Mississippi State, great year, way to make it in the tournament, but it was a lot of SEC bias. I'm gonna say Baylor on this one. That's where I'm at.
Hey, I'm going with them because what colors they wear. So we got Baylor here. We're going in. All right. Speaking of the colors they wear, we got Oregon and Liberty. Hey, Oregon, baby. I like the Ducks. I roll with the Ducks. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna dominate Liberty more than that negative or that -5.5 they have. That's very close to what I thought it would be, but I think the Ducks are gonna fly right now over the Flames.
Yeah, don't tell my wife she graduated from Liberty, but I'm going Oregon. I'm definitely going Oregon.
I'll make sure that when we, we'll mark that out. We won't tell her, okay? Hey, Arizona and Akron. Shout out Akron for making it in. Arizona, 15.5 points right now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Akron has the tenacity to keep up with the Wildcats. So I'm going Arizona in this one.
Yeah, the Wildcats. I mean, again, they're one that's been there. They're seasoned. They know how the tournament works. It's Arizona for sure.
Definitely. BYU and VCU. This is one of the matchups that we're getting a little bit evenly matched here. Both teams obviously coming in on hot. We got BYU with some notable wins over Baylor, Kansas, Arizona, Iowa State twice over Iowa State. They lost to Houston. So I think BYU is going to continue it. This isn't going to be one of my upsets I'm going to pick in the first round, but I think the BYU is going to be able to handle it.
I'm going to lean that way. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to come down to who's got the ball last. But go Mormons, man. BYU.
Hey, look, it's 3.5, so it could potentially come down to who has the ball last in that one right here. Hey, Wisconsin and Montana. Does the Grizz have a shot against the Badgers?
No, absolutely not. Wisconsin's got this one. Very
well. All right, we're going to get into one of them 7-10 matchups right here. We got St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. St. Mary's is a favorite. They're at 4.5 right now. But I think, honestly, Vanderbilt with that SEC bias a little bit might be coming back. They did upset Tennessee. They got walloped by Bama. They beat Kentucky. They lost to Florida. Then they went on a little streak of losing there, and then they beat Texas A&M. Does the 2 wins over Gonzaga hold any weight, and a win against Nebraska hold any weight for St. Mary's to keep winning over Vanderbilt?
This one's tough. This is another one I looked at last night, and I sat there and stared at it for a while. Because I don't want the bias to come out, right? I don't want to be like SEC. It's so tough. They're going to pull off every win they can because, again, it's the tournament. You never know what happens. Big lights, you never know. St. Mary's is scary good. Like they're sneaky good, I should say. Not scary. They're sneaky good. This is a tough one. This one is very, very tough. I don't know, man. Like this one,
I think SEC gets one knockout in the first round, at least one. And I think you're on the right track with St. Mary's being good. I think Vanderbilt. I don't think that they're going to be able to keep up. Because if you look right here, St. Mary's, they have a slow pace, and they're just gonna beat you down slowly, as opposed to look at the games where Vanderbilt scored more than 70 points. Every one of these games right here more than 70, except for the loss right here to Auburn and the loss to Kentucky. But I think the pace of the game might favor if they keep it slow, I think St. Mary's ends up winning.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that's why it was hard for me to pick this one because Vandy's going to have to score every time they get the ball because St. Mary's is going to kill the clock. It's almost like in football. When you kill the clock, you got to score every time you have it, or you're going to lose.
Hey, this is a triple option running team against a no huddle offense, air raid.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be able to sustain because if St. Mary's, you're holding that 40-second clock, gosh, and you score at least on half your possessions. I mean, you're going to go up big in this game, especially if Vanderbilt comes out and goose eggs, their first few shots. I think I want to lean towards St. Mary's.
Okay, I can live with that.
You can live with that. All right, perfect. All right, another SEC team, Alabama and Robert Morris. You think Robert Morris holds any weight whatsoever going against Alabama?
No, no, not gonna happen.
Do you think that covers a spread?
Yeah, honestly, I think they're gonna cover a spread. Bama is good, man. Bama's real good.
Very well. Very well. All right. Hey, we're done with the South and we're done with the East. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break. Give us a few minutes and we're going to come back and we're going to finish up the second half. All right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate, we love you. We'll be right back. And we're back. Whew. Hey, the South and the East are done. We still got the West and the Midwest going on. So we only got maybe one upset currently right now, and that's New Mexico over Marquette. Any picks you want to change or anything you're thinking about? Are we good with this?
No, I'm good with that. That looks perfect to me.
Perfect. All right, everybody, just make sure y'all are not trying to steal our picks to jump ahead of us here. All right, you got to make your own picks, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. We're going to start in the West. We're going to start with that team from Florida we don't like to talk about. They're going to be the number 1 seed. They're taking on Norfolk. It's almost a 30-point, minus 30. It's minus 27.5. Norfolk, I mean, they might have signed, Mike Vick to be their head football coach, but this isn't football here. I don't think they have a chance against Florida right now. I don't think there's a chance at all.
No, Florida's hot right now, real hot.
Yeah. They ran through that SEC tournament, so we're gonna see how far we're gonna let them go. All right, we got UConn and Oklahoma. This is one of the 8-9 matchups. It's always tight right now. The Huskies are minus 4.5. I'm gonna lean towards UConn just because that experience that they have of those deep runs. You think about those great UConn teams, with the Rip Hamiltons of the world, the Kimball Walkers of the world, and all that. I think UConn's gonna control this game, and they're gonna beat the old Boomer Sooners. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, they're covering that. I think it's gonna be honestly, they're gonna run through Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma had to play the SEC, but UConn knows what they're up against. I mean, Oklahoma. I mean, look what they've done. Like nothing. They got in because of the SEC.
Yeah.
So I'm going to UConn, and I'm going UConn big.
Hey, as long as UConn don't play St. John's, it looks like I think they'll be okay. All right. Hey, we're going to get in that 5-12 matchup. These are your matchups you like to see. This is Colorado State and Memphis. Hey, we got Penny Hardaway, leading his Memphis Tigers. Here we go. 2.5 points is Colorado State's minus 2.5 to open. Do you think this could be a upset here with the number 12 seed?
I don't think this is going to be the 5-12 upset. I think this is going to be Memphis. They have a point to prove after last year, so I think they're going to come in and they're going to Colorado State's good, but Memphis all the way.
Yep, very well. And I think honestly, Penny's probably playing for his job right now. I think he needs to make a run. I think so. I love Penny Hardaway. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's playing for his job. All right, we got Grand Canyon and Maryland. It's a lot closer of a cover here than I was thinking. -10.5 for Maryland. I don't think Maryland's losing though, but Grand Canyon can be sneaky good going into their year here. I mean, they lost to Arizona State by less than 10 or 11, excuse me. They lost to Georgia by 7? And they lost to Louisiana Tech. I mean, but that's not, the teams that Maryland plays over there in the Big Ten, where they beat Ohio State. They beat Illinois. They beat Wisconsin, so I don't think Grand Canyon's going to have the gas in there, but I think it's going to be a really good matchup. But I'm leaning Maryland on this one.
Yeah, this one hurts because that's where I went to school and graduated from, Grand Canyon. However, shout out to my boy Charlie. Maryland's going to win that one.
Hey, funny story about Grand Canyon. I met them at the AD conference. They will fly you out so that you can actually explore their campus and get people to want to go there. They'll pay for everything. Shout out professional development coming up real soon. All right. Hey, we got Missouri and Drake. We got the Tigers right here, open up at -6.5. I honestly don't know which way I want to lean here because, the Tigers, they play in the SEC. That's some bias. But if you look, hey, Drake has been dominating. They beat Miami. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Kansas State. Obviously, they played the Bradley Braves 3 times and lost to them once. But I think those wins against those teams right there outweighs the wins that, Mizzou has on Alabama and Kansas. I think this could be an upset. Tell me I'm right or tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know about that one, dude. Honestly, that's where me and you might disagree because Mizzou did beat Florida.
Okay.
Right? They beat Florida, and Florida is scary good right now.
Yes, you're right. It was a 1-point victory and a tough game. They did beat Alabama as well by 12.
And they barely lost to Tennessee. And that's your SEC championship game right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go Mizzou just because of that fact right there. I mean, granted, it was 2 months ago that this happened. I got to lean Mizzou on that.
Hey, I will accept that bid. You sold me on there when you said they beat both teams that played in the SEC championship game.
Well, they barely lost to one of them. Barely lost to Tennessee.
Hey, by the way, Tennessee, beautiful campus, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I know that's hard to admit for LSU fans. That is a very hard thing to admit.
Yeah.
However, we're moving on. Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington. Look, I love teams from North Carolina is where I'm from, but I don't give them a chance at all. It might be a close game, but Texas Tech is going to dominate this game.
It's not going to be close. It's not. That 14.5 is about right. It's not going to be close.
I'm trying to just keep some love going on here. Okay.
Hey, I was up in Lejeune, man. I've been to Wilmington a bunch of times.
Shout out Market Street. Shout out Market Street, baby.
Exactly.
That's all we're doing. Look, hey, I was at New River. I was right around the corner, baby. Shout out Market Street. That's all.
Yeah, that piano bar is the best bar on the planet right there.
There's a certain drink that I can get at a certain cowboy bar establishment that is the PG version is the Fudget Bucket. And I'm telling you right now, those were some good times on Market, baby. That's all I'm saying. Shout out Market Street. Moving on, we got Kansas and Arkansas. Kansas and Arkansas. Kansas is open up -5.5. I think that's going to help them. Obviously, with some SEC bias here, Arkansas, I mean, they really, really haven't done a lot. I think Kansas, with their history of playing in the tournament, I think they're going to be just fine in this game. The Blue Bloods will keep on going.
Yeah. Kansas, hands down, Kansas.
All right. Here we go. Hey, a 2:15 matchup, St. John's and Omaha. And unfortunately, St. John's -17.5. I don't think this game is going to be anywhere close. I think it's going to be a dominating fashion for the Red Storm over the Mavericks. And
Rick Pitino. That's it. That's all you got to say. Rick Pitino. St.
Rick
John.
Pitino, the Rick Pitino effect is going to keep it moving. Look, they might as well be, Peyton Manning calling out Omaha to go opposite. Just go ahead and go back home, man. Hey, you made it. Good job. But you're right. The Rick Pitino effect is where it's at. Let's move over to the Midwest. The Midwest is the number one team. We got Houston and SIUE. Who is that, by the way? That's
Southern Illinois.
Oh, well, no matter what, it's a minus 28.5 favorite for Houston, and I think they're going to easily cover that game.
Yeah.
It's easy. We agree with that one. Then we got an 8-9 matchup. We got Gonzaga and Georgia. This is minus 6.5 for Gonzaga. I think their experience is going to help. This is going to be one of them SEC teams that just ain't going to be able to keep up with basketball schools, And Gonzaga, let's just be real, is definitely a basketball school. Shout out Adam Morrison. He didn't do much for the Bobcats when he got drafted by him, but by God, he made it there and he represented Gonzaga well. I think Gonzaga is going to win this.
Yeah, Zags all the way.
Yeah. Their logo looks familiar. I just realized they're both the Bulldogs. That's crazy.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We got Clemson and McNeese State. McNeese, that's over. Ain't that over in your neck of the woods?
That's Louisiana school. That's a Louisiana
school. 7.5, 5-12. Is this one of your 5-12 upsets?
This is my 5-12 upset right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is where it comes from. And it's because McNeese's head coach, Will Wade, knows how to win. That's what he does. He's won conference 2 years in a row. He was at LSU. He was a head coach for LSU. LSU made a deep bracket run. That man knows how to win in the tournament. That man knows how to coach basketball. McNeese upsets Clemson. Write it. And
you heard it. You heard it first right here on Hanging with the Chads, everybody. McNeese upsets the Tigers. And it ain't the Go Tigers. It's the Tigers of Clemson. Ladies and gentlemen, they heard it first. We have an upset alert right there. Hey, the 4-13 matchup between High Point and Purdue. Purdue's a 10.5-point favorite. Look, I got love for High Point. It's about 30 minutes down the road from where I grew up at. But I also got love for Purdue, even though they fired their whole football coaching staff this year. And Ryan Walters left, and he went up to Washington to be the DC. And then, my boy Graham Harrell, he's no longer there either. I had a lot of fun when we hosted them for the what was it, the Pop-Tart Bowl they was here for? Is that what it was called then?
The Cheez-It Bowl.
Yeah, the Cheez-It Bowl. The Cheez-It Bowl back in 2023 23. So, I got Purdue in this one, and I got them by a lot. They lost a lot, obviously with the draft, but I think they're going to be just fine. Even though they did lose 6 of their last 9, I think they're going to be able to handle High Point a little bit in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I know people from High Point, but shout out to Drew Brees and Purdue. Let's go.
Drew Brees, baby. Hey, look, and again, hey, here it is. I knew it was going to come up. We got Illinois taking on the winner of Texas and Xavier. Now, let's just be clear. People are mad that Texas got in. Is Xavier going to upset Texas in the first round? I think Xavier wins that play-in game. Now, do I think Xavier can beat Illinois as the 11th seed? Xavier, and I quote from one Tiffany King right here, and she's going to help us decide this game. She said, let me find it. She had it on one of these things. Let me find where she put it.
Well, while you're looking, Xavier, I think, is going to take Texas out.
There it is.
In that play-in game. And then it's hard going against Illinois, man. I'm sorry, TK. Sorry. Love you. However, man, to me personally, I think it's Illinois. They're another one that's been there. They've been through it.
She said, you better talk nice about Xavier. They made it in by the skin of their teeth in the play-in game. We have quite a few Q1 losses, but majority of them were by like 1 to 2 points. Then they finished their season strong, winning 7 of 8 games. They beat Texas. They lose to Illinois. That's what I'm going to say, TK. We're going to give you one win, but then you're not going to win another game. Is that fair? I think
I'm
it
with
is.
you. Yep, I do too.
TK, we hope you feel better.
Yes, we do.
Hey, Kentucky, Troy. Kentucky's 11.5. 3-14 matchup. Um, hey, Kentucky is Kentucky. They're a
Exactly.
basketball school. They're a blue blood school. But I think Troy has no chance in this game.
Absolutely not. It's Kentucky all the way.
It's a blue blood. Hey, next game, we got number 7 UCLA and Utah State. It's a close game at -5.5. UCLA playing in that Big Ten conference now, which they're going to get a lot more competition in basketball. I don't see any true things that stands out to say Utah State's going to win. They have the one win against Iowa this year. They beat San Diego State by 1 point. I think UCLA is going to keep that blue blood tradition. I don't see an upset in this game.
I don't either, but I do think this is another one of those really, really close games that you don't have on the radar that's going to be close. I think Utah State's going to play hard until the last, probably 5 minutes, and that's when UCLA blows it away. But it's going to be a lot closer than many people think it's going to be.
It could come down to a final possession, but I think UCLA is going to pull it out. The final matchup here in the round of 64, we have Tennessee and Wofford. I'm sorry, but hey, Wofford, you're a Carolina school area. Great, awesome. You made it. Tennessee by whatever they want.
Yeah, Tennessee is going to win this one a lot, but it's just going to be exactly what happens with Louisville. They're going to be there, but they're going to get a lot of boos. The fans are not going to like them. It's being played in Rupp Arena, man. You can't. Tennessee and Louisville and Rupp Arena is just it's going to be boo city. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. We made it through the round of 64. We're about to go in here and we're going to take us a little break real quick, and we're going to get prepared for the round of 32. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We will be right back. Catch your breath, and we're going to see how good it can be. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back to the show. Boudreaux, we made it to the round of 32.
Yeah, I'm already tired.
It is. We made it to the round of 32. We're going to keep pushing through. And here we go. Hey, let's just go ahead and start off in the South. Auburn, Louisville. Does Louisville have a chance against the number 1 seed?
I honestly think Louisville wins this game. Auburn finished the season horribly.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it was said, but I mean, they're losing to Alabama, they lose to Tennessee. I see Louisville winning this game. Now, I could be wrong. Auburn earned their number 1 seed. I don't think they did, but I don't get paid that kind of money to figure out these brackets. However, I don't know. I think it's a home game for Louisville, even though it's going to be played in Rupp Arena.
Hey, those crowds, they travel, buddy. They travel.
It's hard for me to pick against Louisville, but I'm sorry, Corey. I know Auburn's your team, but yeah, that's where I'm at. But I mean, go ahead. What do you think?
Hey, look, man. Hey, I have no other horse in the carriage except for the east side of this little tournament over here. But let me just tell you one thing: Lamar Jackson's going to be real happy. We got Louisville winning this game, baby. The Ville. Shout out my boy Theory. He's an upcoming hip hop artist. He's from the Ville. He's going to love that pick. Hey, moving on. We got the 5 and 4. We got Michigan, Texas A&M, Big 12, SEC. I don't think the Big 12 is going to be able to handle this game. The big bad SEC is going to handle this game. I think Michigan is going to win this game over Texas A&M. This will be considered another upset, even though it's a 5-4. Any thoughts on that?
No, I'm with you. Looking at this one, these two games broke out exactly the way I thought it would. While we're sitting here talking about it, I really think it's going to be a tight game. It's going to come down to that last possession. But I think Michigan's defense is going to uphold it, and I think they're the ones that's going to push them through.
All right. Hey, here we go. We got Iowa State. We got Ole Miss. What are your thoughts?
This is where I'm going with Van on this one, man. I'm going with Coach Van. I'm going with Ole Miss. I don't know why. There's something about Ole Miss this year, although they've been a roller coaster all year. I think they pull off this upset and take Iowa State out. I really do.
Hey, shout out Van. Shout out my visor-wearing cousin, Coach Kiffin. Hey, running Rebels, running past the Cyclones really quick. Hey, we'll take Ole Miss on that one. Hey, the Lobos, do you think they can run with the Spartans?
Nah, Sparty got this one. Tom Izzo's going to get them going. They're going to win this one. They're going to win this one big.
It's funny that we can just say a team name, just say their head coach name and know they're going to win. Tom Izzo, Rick Pitino. It's anybody that ends with an O right now seems to be that way. Hey, let's stay in the East over here. We got number 1 Duke and Baylor. I think the Blue Devils are just going to keep on running, whether they got Mr. Flag back or not. I think they're going to end up winning this game and knocking out the old Baylor Bears.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Duke wins that one.
Hey, the old Pac-12 alliance right here. Oregon, Arizona, Wildcats, and the Ducks, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think, Boudreaux?
See, this one's another tough one, man. It's like because Oregon flies, but man, Arizona, they've been there. They've done it. They know what they're doing. They do it year in, year out.
Oregon just can't get over the hump. And I think Arizona's going to keep it that way. I think the Wildcats are going to advance.
I think so too.
Hey, BYU, Wisconsin, another tough matchup over here. We're going to go with, the Badgers. We're going to go with the Mormons. What are we going to do here?
I'm going Badgers this time, man. Just like Wisconsin's been good consistently all year. They had that one slip up right at the beginning of the season, but then they were flying high. And I just think the Big Ten plays just better competition.
Absolutely. Hey, St. Mary's, are they going to keep their SEC dominance up, or is Alabama just going to finally get rid of them?
No, Alabama's going to run through them. I hate saying it. I hate saying that, but Alabama's going to run through
that. All right. Well, we got the South and the East done. Now we're going to go to the West. Florida, UConn. 10 years ago, this would have been one hell of a national championship game. Right now, you got the Gators, who just came off their dominant SEC victory. You got the Huskies of UConn. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the Gators are going to continue their run on this one. I know it's painful for us to say that, but I think one blue blood goes down here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Florida, they're probably playing the best in the NCAA right now, next to Duke. Like, it's Florida Duke right now that's flying high. So yeah, Florida.
All right, hey, Memphis and Maryland. This is going to be another tight game, another close game, I think. But at the end of the day, I see Memphis here because, again, Penny's playing for that job. He needs a big victory. He needs to make a run. I think this is going to be more meaningful for him. He's going to coach his heart out. If you look at these notable games, I mean, you lost to 2 SEC schools, and but Maryland's over here, lost to Sparty, they lost to Marquette, they lost to Ohio State. Not by a lot. I mean, some of these games 3 and 4 and 5 points a game, but I think Memphis, the Tigers, are going to keep it moving here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Looking like, especially when you look at that just now, what you were showing, how Memphis beats Sparty, Maryland lost to Sparty.
Yeah.
That tells you right there. That's it right there.
Yep. All right, ready to move on. We got Texas Tech and Mizzou. We have the Raiders and we got the Tigers. At the end of the day, one of them has to go home. And just looking at these matchups here, I see more win qualities coming from Texas Tech. There's a reason they're a 3 seed. Mizzou did get the win over Kansas. They did beat Florida, although they lost again in the championship game. They did beat Bama. Texas Tech, they beat Houston. They beat Arizona. They beat the Baylor Bears. They beat Kansas. They lost to Arizona on the championship day. But I see Texas Tech pulling this one out.
Yeah, I see them being similar. Their playing style similar to how Florida plays. They're fast, and Mizzou's not going to keep up. They'll start out. It'll be close at around halftime, and then Texas Tech comes out second half and just starts running away with it.
Fair enough. Hey, Rick Pitino and St. John's. Is Self still the head coach at Kansas?
Yeah, I believe so.
Hey, I think 2 words for you. Rick Pitino.
Amen. Write that one down. Easy. That's easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can buy that shirt soon. We're going to have 2 words. Rick Pitino. It'll be on sale soon. Hey, Houston and Gonzaga. Is this one of the ones where Gonzaga's experience can come and help them upset a number 1 seed?
No. I wish I could say it otherwise. I wish I could say Gonzaga makes another long run like they've done in the past. Houston, they want it. They want it bad right now. They're going to win this game.
Absolutely. All right, hey, here we go. We're going to pull at your heartstrings. You either got your hero Drew Brees or your love for McNeese. Who you got?
I am going with McNeese. I'm telling you right now, Will Wade knows how to play that underdog role. He's going to get those boys ready to go. They're going to upset. They upset Clemson. They upset number 5. They're going to upset number 4. They are going to the Sweet 16.
McNeese is going to be our Cinderella this year, it looks like.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Kentucky and Illinois. Now, this will be a great game. You know, we got the Big 12 basketball right here, you know. So at the end of the day, is it we got a blue blood or we got the orange blood? I'm going to stick with my gut here. I'm going to keep the blue bloods moving on. Tell me if I'm going right or wrong.
This is another one where I sat there last night and looked at it and stared at it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm going with Kentucky just because it's the only thing that scares me about going Kentucky is that the game is going to be played in Milwaukee. And that is next door to Illinois. But Kentucky, I'm going to go Kentucky just because you got to on this one. It's tournament time. Yep. Kentucky always seems to show up.
They've been there. They have been there, that's for sure. Hey, here we go. We got UT, Tennessee, and UCLA. I would like to think that UCLA could pull an upset here, but I'm going to go with another of Van schools and go Tennessee.
Yeah, again, this game's being played in Lexington. I don't think there's going to be a lot of UCLA fans that are going to make that trip all the way over to Kentucky. And Tennessee fans, that's nothing for them. That's literally like an hour away for them. Absolutely. So I'm going to say Tennessee, and honestly, I think Tennessee is it's going to not even be as close as it should be.
All right, while we're here, let's just go ahead and push through the Sweet 16. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Here we go. Florida, Memphis. Does Penny Hardaway keep the dream alive, or does Florida keep driving through everybody?
Florida's going to drive through them.
There you have it. And the next matchup, we have Rick Pitino and St. John's or Texas Tech. This will be a good matchup, I believe. But I think Rick Pitino.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
I'm going to go Patino. I mean, granted, it looks like we went 1-2 in the West, but I mean, there's a reason they're 1-2, right? There's a reason why they're there. Florida's playing best ball right now. St. John's has got one of the best coaches ever in college basketball. So you've got to go. That's the matchup I've seen. That's how I had it drawn out last night for the West. It's Florida St. John's.
Hey, Rick Pitino this year is 5-1 against top 25 teams. Texas Tech 1-4.
Yeah.
We're going Ricky Pitino, baby. All right. Rick Pitino is advanced to the Elite Eight. Here we go. We got the Midwest side. Can McNeese continue their streak?
This is where it ends for them.
This is where it ends. Oh man. No Butler. No Davidson. None of that.
No, this is where it ends for him. It's a great run. It's a great story. Little bitty McNeese that's in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana. Makes that long run. Will Wade gets back on the good graces of everyone in Louisiana.
Yep.
And then that's where it ends. But it's a great story. So Houston definitely in.
All right. A battle of the SEC supremacy over here, Tennessee and Kentucky. It's going to be played, in Kentucky, right?
No, this one's in Indy.
Oh, it's in Indy, so it's a little bit further, but I mean, people are still going to travel. It's going to be packed. I'm still holding out to the orange on this one. Blue Bloods are going down.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tennessee, I mean, they made the SEC final game, so what else is there?
You're right. Here we go. Let's keep it moving. We got 52 out of 63 total picks. Here we go. Louisville and Michigan. Can the Cardinals keep it up, or does Michigan end their season?
Sorry, boss man, but Louisville is going to keep it going. There's something about Louisville this year that's just they got me. They got me. They really do. Watching them play a little bit, I think they got it.
Absolutely, I agree. Then we have. Hey, by the way, shout out the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research on Twitter. Just liked our post from talking about Alex Ovechkin donating money to the Jimmy V Foundation every time he scores a goal. Shout out to the V Foundation, just like this. Anyway, Ole Miss, Michigan State. Is this where we have to consult our boy Van?
I mean, Van would. I don't think Van's gonna like me too much on this one, but
I don't think he is either.
I'm going Izzo, man. I'm going Izzo and Smarty.
Izzo. Sorry, Van. Hey, let's go. Hey, before he jumps on the message board, let's get over to the Duke Arizona game here. Look, I think this is going to be not as close as people think. I think Duke is going to pull away because, again, I won't lie to people. Duke is probably my favorite to win. So obviously, if I go against them, that goes against my favorite to win. I think Duke is. This is the game that Mr. Flag comes back and he shows the world why he is a potential number 1 overall draft pick in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. I said it yesterday, and I'll keep saying it. I think Duke wins this whole thing.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Bama, Wisconsin, a 2-3 matchup. You know, they're both strikingly similar. Bama obviously averages a lot more points a game. This is the thing that sets them apart there, though. 11-7 against top 25 teams. I think that experience in the top 25 is going to help them in the battle of the red schools right now. I think Alabama wins over Wisconsin.
I think it's going to be really close. Honestly, I could see it where Bama jumps out to a huge lead. But then, like I said, throughout the season, the SEC is so tough to get through that their legs might go out from under them, right? Because we're starting to get deeper and deeper in the tournament. And if that happens and Wisconsin is going to come back, I think Bama still beats them. But I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be Wisconsin running it at the end and Bama just holding on.
Wow. Bama wins. I like that. I like the way you're thinking there. The SEC is tough. It's what the Big Ten used to be now.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ten used to be, Kentucky, Illinois, Purdue, all of them just slaughtering each other. So I agree. I think it's going to be Bama. We made it now to the Elite Eight. We're going to take a real quick break, ladies and gentlemen, so we can catch our breaths and we can get prepared to finish this off. And we'll be back. We appreciate you hanging out with the Chads. We'll talk to you real soon. And we're back. Hey, I like this beat they got going on here. Little mellow beat we got. Anyway, let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We made it to the Elite Eight. Now this is separating the men from the boys now, Boudreaux. This is what we got going on here. We're going to start off with the first Elite Eight matchup. Louisville, Michigan State. Are we going to go and let Louisville keep their run, or is Tom Izzo and Sparty going to survive?
Sparty wins this one, but very, very, very close. This game may go to overtime. This is going to be one of them really, really close games, back and forth. I mean, look, everything about them is, except for that versus top five. I mean, they are neck and neck in almost everything they do. So I'm going Izzo. I'm going Sparty, but it's going to be a tight game.
Look, Jay-Z once said, H to the Izzo. Go Sparty, baby. All right. Hey, well, we're just going to stay up here. Duke, Bama. We already decided who our national champion is. I think this is going to be a really, really entertaining game. But again, Duke is going to separate itself. I don't see an upset here at all.
No, I agree with that. Like I said before, I've said it since the ACC tournament started. I said that Duke will probably end up winning this whole thing, and I'm sticking to that.
All right, we're going to go to the Midwest here. We got Houston and Tennessee. Is this where the Cougars' dreams go to die?
I'm going to say yeah. I think Tennessee, you run through the SEC tournament, you make it to the final game, you got some power there. I think they're seasoned. They understand what's in front of them, and they're going to do it. They're going to do the same thing.
Hey, I agree. It's just Houston just trying to get it, but they just ain't going to get past it. And here we go. The final Elite Eight matchup. Number 1, Florida. Number 2, St. John's. Is the Rick Pitino magic going to continue?
This is where it dies. This is where it ends, right here. Florida's playing so well right now. Like, I can't go against them. And it hurts, like we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. But yeah, this is where Florida, who they are, comes out.
Hey, we still love Rick Pitino. 2 words, Rick Pitino. We still love you, Rick. We still love you. All right, here we go. The final 4. San Antonio, Texas. We got number 1, Florida, number 2, Michigan, number 1, Duke, number 2, Tennessee. We're going to start off with the left side of the screen. We got Florida and Michigan State. We got the Gators. We got Tom, Izzo, and Sparty. I want Sparty to continue, but I think this is where the Gators get their chomping on. I think the Gators are going to defeat the Spartans.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way. I'm trying to look something up real quick. I should have looked it up earlier.
Okay.
I just want to see something because I vaguely remember, but I'm probably completely wrong, that Tom Izzo won in San Antonio, but I'm not positive.
It's going to be a great game. There's a reason they're number one.
No, it was Indy. My bad. So anyway, for some reason I was remembering San Antonio, but I was completely wrong. It's okay. No, I agree. I think Florida is just going to overpower them. Michigan State, great run. Izzo is still proving that he can do it this long in his life and in his career, because he won it back in 2000. So we're talking 25 years ago. So it's phenomenal. But yeah, Florida overpowers them.
All right. We got one team set for the national championship game, and this is Duke and Tennessee. Obviously, we chose Duke.
Yeah.
Does Tennessee make it close?
It starts out close. And then Coop takes over and says, yeah, we're not having this.
He basically sitting at the party and says, hold my beer.
Yeah, he's like, this is where it's at. Yeah. Because that's what he does. That's what he's been doing all season long. Like, he eventually just says, it's mine. Have a nice day.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, national championship game set. April 7th, Florida, Duke. Ladies and gentlemen, we have already announced our pick yesterday. We got the Blue Devils going. Boudreaux, how many total points are going to be scored in the national championship game?
Total points, I'm looking at, let's say 149.
149. It has been entered. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our bracket completed. We have everything we need. The question is, can you beat us? The link is going to be inside the comment bar. The link is going to be on our social media to join this group. And as you can see, we're going to go back over here. We're going to go back to our big box here. Boudreaux, we did it. All those picks. Hey, we did it. We did it. It was rough. We made it. We got Duke going all the way. We got a lot of great things going on. Any final thoughts for you, brother?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those memorable tournaments, not where like you forget half the things that happen all the way up into the final. I think it's going to be where it's like we just showed. It's not a lot of upsets. Where the past few years, I mean, it was just one day was just complete, like the first day or the second day, complete upsets. I don't think that's happening this year. There's too many blue bloods. There's too many great coaches. There's too many seasoned teams in there now that I think you're going to get your ones and twos. You're going to get your McNeese that's going to fly in there under the radar just because, again, a great coach. He's done it. He's done it with a great school. He's been there twice now with McNeese. I think this is where it's going to come down to a team that just keeps grinding and has that one player that refuses to lose, and that's why I went with Duke. Cooper refuses to lose.
Absolutely. Coop is the man. I actually hope he's healthy and he can come back and play. I mean, ankle sprains and all that is rough. So hopefully he comes back and he's good to go. Or our bracket's going to bust, and then someone's going to get some free gear. And we don't like giving out free stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, let's shout out the Pineapple Warehouse who's supplying the gear. We're going to have a store popped up soon. You can get some stuff for yourselves. And at the end of the day, we're just going to have a lot of fun. Any last words before we get out of here, brother?
Just like always, be better.
Hey, be 1% better than what you was every day, and you're going to be better tomorrow than what you was today, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, as always, I got the greatest tag team partner of all time, Chad Boudreaux. I'm Chad Springer, and we are out of this mug. You have a great day. We're going to go enjoy our spring break, and we'll get back with you real soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.